Christian from C&J's Garage. Hopefully we're going to be getting this video done today. I'm trying to get in contact with my buddy John. We're going to go to the auto parts store and get us some oil, some spark plugs for our cars, and we're doing a basic tune-up for y'all today.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the freaks, clocking the dough. Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there, cold shooting some hoops. A car pulls up, who can it be? A fresh El Camino rolling Kilo G. He rolled down his window and he started to say, it's all about making that GT.
This is Christian with C&J's Garage. Today we'll be doing a tune-up on a vehicle. I'll be doing it on my 2010 Mitsubishi Lancer. First off, I'll be changing the spark plugs. What you'll need is a ratchet, a 10mm socket, 5/8 spark plug socket, an extender for those hard to reach places, a 5/16, and a mini ratchet. Let's get straight into it. We're wanting to remove these 3 bolts. I don't know if you can see them. There's 3 bolts right here with your 10mm socket. Make sure you do not lose these. This to hold this cover on, so you don't get dust, grime, wool, whatever in the holes. Alright, now that this is done, there are 4 cylinders to take off to remove the spark plugs. I will go ahead and do that right now for y'all. Just breaking the nuts, and I like to and loosen them because they can really mess some stuff up if you just do it with that ratchet. Always make sure you keep your hands on the bolts so they don't fall in there. Hard to reach place. They're really not that hard to reach if you have one of those little magnetizer things. Be able to get them out. And once you take these off the coil packs, you unplug the spark plug wires from the coil packs. This spark plug, as you can see, unplug that, pop it off, pull it right out. And down in there is the spark plug. Time for the extender and the socket. Move the coil pack out of the way just in case. Nice and loose. Make sure the tread back. Wait, oh, wrong way. Should be loosened. And what I do, since this thing doesn't have one of those rubber grommets, well it does, and it doesn't really work that well. I don't know why. I bought probably about 3 of them. I use the rubber tip on this. It'll suction cup basically right to it. Put it in there, and you can pull it right out. most of the time. I guess it might not be all the way out of there. There we go. That's all the way out now. See? And it comes right out. Do not do this when the engine is hot. It will mess the treads up. Mess the treads up in the where the gasket goes. As you can tell, this thing is a little old buildup on the actual spark plug itself. So I'm going to change it. Thank God. That's what this video is about. Alright, I'm done with that one. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the second one. Put this out of the way. Set those in a safe place to where they will not fall, because you don't want them to fall and break, because coil packs are expensive. And if anybody's wondering about gauging of these spark plugs, you do gauge them if you buy non-OEM specified spark plugs. These ones came pre-gauged from Advanced Auto Parts. And with gauging them, it can possibly, like the iridium ones, if you gauge them, it can wear off the iridium thing that's on them, on the tip, and turn it into a copper.
Which is not a bad sign.
No, not at all.
Just means it's lean a little bit.
Think about adding some fuel additive to it.
Some octane booster. People don't realize how much that stuff helps, but it does. Like the synthetic oil. Because the cooler you can run an engine, the more horsepower it makes. Like a thermostat. People don't think a thermostat makes a difference. It does. Hope you know where those go down.
Oh yeah.
That's what they all say. You can't get them wrong now. There's a wired harness.
Yeah. There we go. And those coil packs are ridiculously expensive.
What would coil packs cost?
$65, $70
Each. Imagine buying 16 of them. MSD.
Now to replace it with the new ones, it's a Bosch Double Platinum, and it came standard, already OEM spec to the gauging of it, and that's why it has this little thing on it. I've never seen another spark plug like this with this on it. But yeah, go ahead and replace them. I usually just put it down in there. Get it hand started, because you never want to start it with one of the ratchets and cross thread it, nothing like that. That would be horrible. It can screw your engine up. Alright, on to the next one. Gotta open up the box. Now the double platinum, the platinum, really doesn't matter. Yeah, the platinum and the double platinum, the silver, they last a lot longer. But the copper, that really burns a lot better. It has the heat rating is a little bit better. As of the double platinum or the any platinum or silver, the heat rating, it doesn't disperse the heat as much. But yeah, these are pretty good though. All the other ones that I looked around at, I found some that were $12 a piece, which is ridiculous. I went with I think this was $6 a piece, so I paid about $24 for it. Instead of $48 for 4, it's $24 for 4. You can go with the cheap ones, they're spark plugs, but these will usually last up to 3 times longer than a copper. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish changing them. John was supposed to be here tonight, or Jay, if you want to call him Jay. You want to call me C, go ahead and call me C, I'm fine, that's cool. He was supposed to be here tonight, so I could change his oil, but he's not here. The guy in the video that was just here was my neighbor next door. He hangs out every once in a while, he's pretty cool. He knows a lot about cars, and said he'll help me get that exhaust. He has an exhaust system for me, so I can put that on there. A full cap back exhaust. He'll help me find a turbo kit for it cheap, because he knows a lot of people. Thank God. Whenever you're tightening this stuff down, be sure not to tighten it too hard, because then you can strip the threads, and you don't ever want to do that either, because that can screw your engine up bad. You'll have to rethread it and all that stuff, and that's just a pain. It takes too much time. So always be careful when changing your own spark plugs on oil. There, and that's that. That's changing those, putting them in at least. Now all you have to do is put in the coil packs. Put the first one in, pop it in. I always put them all in first. And then I put the bolts on. And yes, if you see me smoking, please don't smoke while you're working on cars. Even if you are experienced at it, I can say I'm somewhat experienced at it. It's just not good to smoke in general. Yeah, I like to hand tighten these, finger tighten these, whatever. Never want to over tighten these with the ratchet, because it's just not good, because you can, again, strip them. I did that on my old Tribute, and stripped the intake manifold off of it. Just pulled in a little extra air. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Never got it fixed, but hell, I flipped it, so no need to worry about that anymore. Alright. Go back to the 10mm, tighten these up. Again, not too tight. Just to where it barely gets tight enough to limit pressure on there. Alright. Then you put the panel back on. Don't want to strip these either. It's very important not to strip any of the screws or the holes that the screws go into. After this, we'll be getting into changing it all. Woohoo! them tight. Now, onto the oil. Now, changing the oil, you're going to, of course, have to jack the car up. Any tools you see on the car, you're going to have to take off. Make sure, you know, none of them's on there. You don't want nothing falling on your head if you're crawling underneath there. I use a standard 2-ton jack and just have to find a place to put it. I've never jacked this car up before, but it should be pretty fun. Okay, well, I found a point to jack it up, and I'm not going to jack it up. Alright, put a jack stand under there. Safety first always. All right, now, what we have to do, get the pan to drain this oil into. Once you've located the drain plug, proceed to take it off. Well, I have the ratchet and the thing hooked up. I have to break a bar in here. I think I got it. I'll move this out of the way. There we go. Usually when you do this, you have to wear safety glasses.
Whenever everybody had me a quick old hamburger from the time drive-in.
Hell yeah.
God almighty.
And let the oil leak until completely done. Okay, well, I found a point to jack it up, and I'm not going to jack it up. Alright, put a jack stand under there. Safety first always. All right, now, what we have to do, get the pan to drain this oil into. Once you've located the drain plug, proceed to take it off. Well, I have the ratchet and the thing hooked up. I have to break a bar in here. I think I got it. I'll move this out of the way. Usually when you do this, you have to wear safety glasses.
Whenever there they had me a quick old hamburger from the time drive-in.
Hell yeah.
God almighty.
And let the oil leak until completely done. Now to the oil filter, which is right here. Twist it off, put it in the bucket. Now I was told this rubber grommet to be oiled a little bit before you put it on and fill it up with oil. So that's what I'm going to do. Once you do that, replace it. Okay. Oh, that's good. Whew. Now, to fill it back up with oil. The oil cap right here. Damn, I really wish I had a fun thing. Don't have to make your own. Oh, hard to take it. Sure.
I'll take all 5 forks on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Excuse me. There we go. Fine. After you're done filling it up, put the cap back on. I like to wait about 10 minutes before firing it back up. And then if you change your spark plugs after you change the oil, let it run for about 15 minutes, get used to the new spark plugs and oil, lube it all up again. And then you should be set. Have a good one.